8th episode of The Lockdown, featuring our guest, Kasy Kiarash, who is the assistant coach for the Ryerson men's soccer team, a performance analyst, and, of course, the owner and creator of Final Third Soccer. Kasy, how's it going?
I'm doing well. I hope you guys are doing well. And thank you so much for having me on the show. Obviously, anyone at Ryerson, I love the sport media students and what you guys all bring in. You're so talented, and I had the pleasure of working with, I think Yvonne and Alex Dedesi, who are doing big things in the MLSC with the Raptors and Sportsnet now. So there's a lot of guys just doing big things, and I'm just honored to be working with you guys.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you very much. So obviously you have started the Final Third program.
Yeah.
And obviously it's a physical activity that has to take place on a soccer field, and due to this pandemic, it's not really happening. But I have seen you have taken it online and transformed it in a way to help people from your home to other homes. So what have you been doing to keep it going?
Oh my God, I haven't been sleeping right now, but it's been so fun. You know what? I just looked at it and said, there's a lot of people just saying, oh, like we can't do anything because we're just at home. And for me, I'm very resourceful. So, I just started coming up with a plan, started thinking, how can I engage everybody at this time? Like, it can be frustrating staying at home, just not having a place to play, people being stuck. And for me, there was many programs that kind of started coming up, and same with myself. I started doing a live free ball mastery session, and there was a lot of interest for it. So I started doing it 3 times a week. And then there's a lot of other trainers that started doing programming as well, like naturally. And that's amazing as well. But for me, one of the things that wasn't there on the market was an organized plan that you can follow for 30 days. And what I started telling myself is, if I'm coming out of this period, this COVID period, I want to be able to go back and say, well, these are the things that I accomplished during this time. And for me, I really wanted to build a community of serious soccer players who are serious about improving their game, and serious about putting in the work. So I decided to create this program online. It's a free 4-week comprehensive soccer training plan that I created using periodization. And what periodization means is your rest to work ratio. So my background, is in performance analysis, but I also have a UEFA B license. And, I use that to build a comprehensive soccer training plan that any professional or amateur player could use, because everything that we're doing is based on your own individual development and we're measuring everything. So we can go through it in detail and I can show you guys. But yeah, essentially I just wanted to put an online program that people can follow. I wanted to make it free and accessible to everyone, especially during this time, and just engage the community.
And kind of pivoting off of that, you talked about your program and how obviously it's a difficult time right now. A lot of fields and parks are closed, so a lot of players can't really get onto the pitch as they normally do. So are there any tips that you have for current players or aspiring players to kind of stay fit, work on their skills during this time?
Yeah, it's such a great time for people who are serious about their development, because there's been no other time in the history that you've had so much time to do anything that you wanted, because you're just stuck at home. So, I do have some advice, and it's literally following a program, because you can do this workout, you could do that workout, but if you're following a program and measuring it, I'm all about numbers. I showed you guys the book that I'm reading right now, Measure What Matters. I'll show it to you again. For me, it's about, if you're going to set a goal, if you're trying to improve in anything, how do we objectively know that you're getting better? And we don't know if we don't measure it. So for me, the workout that I created is, everything is measured. So there's a worksheet with every workout. So we know the amount of ball touches you get in every ball mastery and how you're improving over the 4 weeks. So we can look back on it and say, look at my week 1 results, look at week 2, look at week 3, and look at week 4. And I wanted to show that to everyone to see, you're actually improving in this program. Your agility, how fast you're moving in and out of the cone. So everything has a number to it, and we're measuring. And there's also a quality rating too, because as much as I'm talking about measurements and numbers, sometimes, it's not about numbers, and it's about quality. So there's certain things that you're rating yourself on the quality of work that you're doing as well. And that's just a self-reflection, which for me is huge. Doing self-reflection is massive. So to answer your question in short, follow a structured program, set goals for yourself, and then start knocking that off, because you can get, kind of pushed around all over the place. And with my program, I've done that. You come in, the first thing you do is set your goals. The next thing you do is you look at the calendar and you follow it all. Every day there's something to do. And with any exercise that I give a video instruction and a worksheet to do. So it's really good. And it has 2 live trainings a week with me that I do with everybody. We have over 100 people registered right now in the course, which is kind of blew my mind. Like, I had to create another classroom. We've got, it's been really, really good. And so, yeah, to answer your question short, follow a structured plan.
That's awesome. It's good to see that people are pushing themselves during this time and trying to stay fit.
Yeah, no, it's been really cool.
And it just shows how intentional you've been in this process, like just, coming alongside people and, helping them achieve their goals. As a participant and, coach for Ryerson, and you participate in the recruitment process, so much of the recruitment process is building relationships with people in a real sense to get them to, feel comfortable at Ryerson and come to the program.
Right.
With COVID happening right now, everything's kind of going virtual. How do you plan to pivot in that recruitment process and trying to build those connections with people where you may not be able to actually be with them?
Right. No, it's a really, really good question. And right now it's people might say, oh, I can't recruit right now. And you'd be wrong. You could be one of those coaches that says, well, there are no games. I can't. Well, you can really get to know people right now. Right. So for me, I'll tell you guys, any recruit that wants to come to Ryerson, I'll go watch them in a practice. And the very next thing I'll do is like, okay, I want to find out a little bit more about this person. So what do you guys think I do? I go on Facebook, I go on Instagram, and I search the person and I see what kind of content are they putting out? What are the kind of things that they're liking? Who are the people that they're following? What kind of posts are they putting out? I get to know what they're about. So for me right now, if you like, I'm going and I'm doing research online on the players that we want for the next year. And I'm looking to see, are they creating a recruiting profile? Because many of my players at Final Third that I train, this is what I preach to them. I said, right now, create a recruiting Instagram profile and start recording your workouts. I just had a meeting with Barry, which is a team that came to my ID camp that I put on. And, I did a free Zoom sessions for them to kind of help them through this time and some of the things that they could be doing. And I told them, if I'm a recruit right now, I'm trying to go to university, I'm creating a recruiting profile for myself on Instagram and Facebook and putting it out there. A lot of college coaches are going on Instagram right now and seeing like they're doing interviews, they're interacting with players. And that's what I'm doing, like on a massive scale. If you think about it, with Final Third, I have over 100 players. And yeah, of course, I'm always trying to help them get to the next level. And if Ryerson is a right fit for them, yeah, for sure. Absolutely. No, like that's a great way for me to recruit. So with Final Third, it kind of knocks 2 birds with 1 stone. I get to recruit and get to know players, get back to the community. So it's really a win-win.
100%. That's something that, is brand new. The whole recruiting program kind of thing.
Yeah.
You're making your own videos. It's been around for like 5 years now. When I was playing and I went and tried out in France and stuff, it really didn't exist. And then, it makes a difference for sure to open up the coach's eye. And you can see the players on Ryerson's team. Like I've been around the team for 2-3 years now. Right. And you kind of see that everyone's meshes in like glue. Like they're all super tight. They're all together all the time. And the chemistry of the team is great. So with that being said, is there going to be an OUA season next year, or have you gotten any news from the OUA?
We haven't got any official news. And to be honest with you, we just don't know at this point on what's going to happen. Even if schools open back up, are they going to allow like 24, 25, 30 guys to train together? We're kind of planning for the worst, hoping for the best, just like everybody else at this point. There may not be a season, but we've created, again, a training plan for our guys that kicks off May 1st. And we're planning that there is a season. So, you know, there's going to be classroom sessions for the guys. There's going to be video analysis. There's going to be workouts every single day. So we're preparing like there is going to be a season. So I hope that answers your question. We are hoping for the best and planning for the worst. There may not be a season. And OUA has not given any official answers to us. I know that League One is hoping to start, you know, I believe July 1st or June, like they said something like June 1st start date, but that's something they're just hoping for.
So I want to ask you first, what exactly is a performance analyst? And earlier you were talking a lot about having numbers to kind of be able to track yourself. How important is tracking those numbers in regards to a performance analyst?
A performance analyst is a video analyst, essentially. It's like a fancier name for a video analyst. And what a video analyst does, you know, you analyze your opponents, your own team, and you basically create a report. So what I did for Orlando City in my first like official professional performance analyst job, because before that I just called myself a video analyst. And when I got to Orlando City, they're like, no, you're a performance analyst. So, and essentially I just had more duties, and you're assessing performance and connecting the video to the performance, and also measuring that performance by numbers. So for example, I would go and I would record a practice, but I would be coding the practice at the same time as I'm filming the practice. So, you know, there's certain things that the coaches wanted measured. I'm not going to mention those things just out of respect for the coach, but there's certain things that he wanted measured in practice that were important to him. And we had basically like a code window that we used to code exactly what he wanted during season, during that preseason that I was with them last year at IMG Academy in Florida, where we had our preseason. So I would come back, you know, to the room that I was staying in, and then I would create a report based on the practice, and that report would be linked. So for example, all the actions that he had me code would link to a video that he would be able to see. So he would get a report of, okay, like this happened this many times, this happened this many times. And if you would click on it, the video would populate of that action, if that makes sense. So essentially it's video analysis, really on steroids.
Kasy, you are a testament to, you know, carving out a career in Canadian soccer in the country. And I'm just wondering, what advice would you give to people who are, you know, aspiring to work in the field, whether it be on the management side or playing? What advice would you give from your own experience in a country that may not be as soccer focused as other countries around the world?
Go find your dream job and work for free. That's it. That's like right there. And then this goes for anything. Go find your dream job and work for free. And if you have to support yourself by doing a side job which could be your main job to kind of like to get to your passion, go and find your passion. Go find the best place, like go to the highest you can and say, I'll work for free. They don't take you there, go lower, go to another team. Because I can tell you, I started working for Power Soccer, which is one of the, you know, best like clubs or academies, they call them. And I was lucky enough to get a job because of my experience. And you know, I'd worked in the States before when I came back, but when I got to Ryerson, I didn't have a full-time job. I knocked on the door and I said, I'm here, you know, Dr. Joseph, I'm here. Like, I'm ready to work. And he's like, I don't have a job. I said, that's okay. I actually went and found a fund that was available in Ontario at the time. It was called a Youth Employment Fund that allowed you to work. The government would pay your employer. It's called a Youth Employment Fund. I don't know if they still do it, but you had to be 20 to 30 years old, had graduated university, but didn't have a job. And you wanted to work, but you know, the workplace either didn't have a position for you or whatnot. So he was so impressed that I had found this job, like this Youth Employment Fund. Because when I came there, I was like, don't worry about payment. Like, I'm showing up Monday. Like, can I work here? He's like, what are you talking about? I was like, I'll see you on Monday. Don't worry. So he's like, this guy's crazy. So I just sent him the Youth Employment Fund. I said, I will pay you to pay me. And he's like, I don't get what you're talking about. So I'm like, here's the Youth Employment Fund. I'll see you Monday, 8 a.m. 8 a.m. I was there. I didn't leave until he left until 7 p.m. Boom. After 7 p.m., I would go back to Power and I would do my Power job, which was kind of paying the bills at the time. But at the same time, the Youth Employment Fund gave me like minimum wage, which was like like 6 to 7 hours at minimum wage. So I just grinded, to be honest with you. I was just grinding. And I found a place that I really wanted to work at, and I started volunteering. And on top of that, I just got creative and resourceful, and I actually found a fund that would pay my employer that I was volunteering for to pay me. But if I didn't find that fund, I'm telling you, I would have still volunteered there, because that's the only way for me right now that you can get to your dream job. Like most of the time you don't have the experience, you're young, and then you knock on the door and they're like, you don't have experience, you need 10 years experience, and nobody wants to hire you because you don't have experience. So it's kind of like this vicious circle that you get in. I'm sure, like, you knock on Sportsnet's door, they're going to be like, well, what kind of experience do you have? Well, I don't have. How do I get experience? Okay, so and you guys doing this show is a really, really great start. But for me, it's all about working for free, getting in, and showing your work. Because for me, if you're serious about your work and your quality is there, when you get to those places and you show people what you're about, they're going to appreciate you. And who do you think they're going to want to hire when a position becomes available? They're going to hire within. They're going to hire the guy who's been grinding for free and has quality work. So that's the only thing that I can recommend to people. Don't be afraid to go in and do literally the dirtiest, lowest job. I got in, I said, I'll pick up cones, I'll wash, I don't care. I'll clean the locker room. I don't care. No job was too small. And if you have that mentality, that's the only way you are going to be able to develop and go to the next level or get your dream job. Don't be afraid to go and clean the floors. Like, that's the best way to learn. So I just had that mentality, and that's one of the things that I can really recommend to everybody, is to have that mentality in any job you want, whether it's in soccer or in media, anything in life, you'll be successful.
Yeah, I think it's interesting you say that, and like that's such a inspirational type of story, because I know so many people in the sport media field, and honestly friends in all types of different programs who are graduating, and the problem is every job that they want, they need experience for, but how are they supposed to get experience if every job needs experience? So I think it's really interesting that you bring that side up of pushing for a job, working for free, trying to get where you want so that you can get that experience and keep your name in their minds when that hiring process does begin.
I can't stress that enough, man. Like, I'm honestly telling you guys, a lot of guys come out of university and they want the $100,000 job. They want the $100,000 job, and they're like, and they're just living at home and like doing nothing and not getting paid. They don't even have a job. And it's like, listen to me, take the $40,000 job, go and grind. There is this thing about, I don't know, like, I don't know if I'm not saying it's the next generation, but it's just like, we just want the instant gratification. Like, when I say we, like, I'm with you guys, like, we want it, but the really special thing, the way to stand out in our generation is to say, you know what, to have that old school mentality a little bit and say, you know what, yeah, I'll wash the floors. Give me 40 grand. And you know what? The secret to that is, when they were paying me nothing at Ryerson, like when I was paying them to pay me, I was coming in at 7 a.m. before the athletic director. But I'm telling you, I'll try to beat him. I could never beat him to the office. This man lived there. I come at 6, he was there at 5:30. I come 5:30, he would come at 5. So for me, like, we talk about Dr. Ivan Joseph, he's a very successful guy. There's a lot of things I learned from him, but when you go above and beyond your position, and this is the one thing I want to tell you guys, is dress for the job that you want. And this is another like mindset you need to have, is dress for the job that you want. In that, if you want to be the manager, start work, not just dressing like the manager, but this is what I'm saying, is start working like you are the manager. Show up at 7 a.m. even though they're paying you minimum wage and you got a $40,000 job and it's crap and it sucks and no one respects you, or you don't feel like you're getting that respect and you want it all. Well, start earning some respect. Show up 7 a.m. before everybody and grind and do extra and work. People are going to notice. And if they're not going to, if they don't notice you there, somebody else will. I guarantee you. Outwork your current role and job that you have. That's the only way you're going to be able to grow.
Well, Kasy, we have one last question for you. We like to ask all of our guests, what is the first thing that you're going to do when the coronavirus is over, everyone can go outside, everything's back to normal?
man, like, it's just going to be so strange for me. Like, this is my new life right now. I'm not even thinking about what I'm so in this moment right now. So I just have to take a second to even think about that, because, with this course that I've done, like all the community, first of all, I think the whole world is going to change, because it's going to take some time for people to adjust to like regular routines in life, because everything has kind of gone virtual. And I'm wondering how much of this is going to carry over. You know what I mean? How much are things going to keep being virtual? I'll probably keep my classroom virtual, and I'm assuming many of the things that we've done almost makes it more convenient. How many people are going to start working from home? So having said that, I'm going to go to the Ryerson Rams soccer field at Downsview, and I'm going to be taking some shots on that beautiful mesh, smashing in some shots into that upper right corner, and hopefully sharing it with you guys. Because for me, it's one of my favorite things to do. That ball hitting the back of the mesh is like therapy for me. So just getting back out there, training, opening up the training facility with Final Third, and yeah, getting back out there with the Ryerson guys and putting in that grind.
100%. The sound of the mesh, it is therapy. It's like the ocean water for a lot of people.
Exactly.
Anyways, thank you, Kasy, for joining us today. Very inspiring interview for sure, and hopefully it opened up a lot of people's eyes to never let time fly, because once this is over, it's time for us to fly high.
Well said. Well said. I really enjoyed this, guys. Let me know if there's anything else you need, and yeah, that's it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Kasy.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate you guys.